Hela, South Africa. You are running out of time. You can see it everywhere. Young people need jobs. Manje.
Namhlanje.
She needs to own the land her business is on.
Namhlanje.
Why give her grant money only to take it away from her rates and taxes? This must stop Manje.
Namhlanje.
He needs the clinic open for 24 hours. Manje.
Namhlanje.
Women need to feel safe and protected. Not tomorrow. Manje.
Namhlanje.
We need accountability. Manje. When you vote EFF, you vote for yourself, your land, your jobs. Manje! Manje! Manje!
On the 1st of November, vote EFF. Vote for you.
So the story we're going to talk about today, this keeps happening, and I keep telling you about the culture of white supremacy. It is something that they pass down to their children like an inheritance. They make sure to pass that down. And a centralized figure of their culture is to have a hatred for the black man, woman, and child of not only America, but throughout the world. So a Mzungu, Illinois teenager has been disciplined nearly 2 years after he listed his black schoolmate as a slave for sale on the popular selling platform Craigslist. Now, the Naperville Central High School student, who has remained unnamed because he is a juvenile, was hit with a 2-year probation and 100 hours of community service by Judge Anthony Coco after entering a guilty plea to 2 counts of felony hate crime and 1 count of misdemeanor disorderly conduct. All he got was probation and 100 hours of community service, really, with a felony? Okay. So DuPage County State Attorney Robert B. Berlin said in the press conference, Judge Coco also ordered the young man to undergo any counseling that seemed fit. The ad showed the black student in what appeared to be a cafeteria under the word slave for sale. It said with the caption, hardworking, thick N-word, a slave for low. It went viral. Now, classmates approached the black student offering $1 to buy him, saying, I'll buy you for $1, said one student. Now, the victim's mother, Tamara Wallace, has said that at the time, the 2 boys were once close friends, and this wasn't the first incident involving the unidentified young male. Let me tell you something. Some of y'all kids are friends with these Mzungus. You got to be careful. You got to be careful because, some of them they act like they're your friend, but sometimes they want to set you up too. You understand? They'll set you up. I always say, you're the only black person, and you around, there's a bunch of them. I'm not, I don't know. Because let me tell you something, from what I know from experience, when there's too many of them, somebody racist in the crowd, somebody. And when racism going on, a lot of times, a lot of them won't say nothing because they want to stay on code. Because when they speak up against racism, even though they may not agree with racism, but they don't want to be out of the white community, right? Because we know that any white person that speak up against racism, they're going to get ostracized. And they don't want that because they want to continue their white privilege and everything else, even though they say they're anti-racist. So they said that it seemed like the matter of one post, everything that the mother saying, I taught my child about his skin color, this seemed like it was diminished. You're not teaching your child right. You must teach your child, you live in America, you live in a system of white supremacy. And these people have an immense hatred for us. And it's been going on since the 1600s and on, right? Nothing has changed. If you're teaching your children this kumbaya crap, you are doing your child a disservice. Now, am I saying all people hate black folks? No, I'm not saying that, not whatsoever. But in the Mzungu community, the minority of them are decent. The minority of them, I believe, are good. But the majority, no. Because they got white supremacy in them. And either they open white supremacists, closeted white supremacists, Democrats, closeted white supremacists, or if they're not racist, they're not going to say anything whatsoever, so that makes them just as guilty too. even though they claim they're not racist, and they may show up there with you with Black Lives Matter or whatever and saying, oh yeah, justice for George Floyd, but they're not gonna do anything. You understand what I'm saying? So to me, you're racist too. When you go in the ballot box, you don't vote for any kind of justice. When you're in the jury box, you don't vote for any kind of justice in that. You stay on code every time. So you just as bad too. Now the mom continued to say when she heard about it, she thought the police should have been called. They say when the police heard about it, they felt like they should have been called. That's what they said. And said shortly after the incident, Principal Bill Waybrook had sent a letter to parents informing them that the school was aware of the racially insensitive electronic post and worked as quickly to investigate and address this with the students involved. Let me tell you something. I've been covering news probably almost going on 10 years because I started the original The Advice Show channel back in 2012. So next year will be, our 10-year anniversary. Awesome, right? And within almost 10 years of doing news, I will tell you, nothing has changed. It's the same thing over and over and over and over again. Why? Because they teach this to their children. It's the inheritance of white supremacy they're passing down, and it's in the culture of white supremacy. You must pass that down. Like people pass down traditional events or traditional meals or traditional dress. They pass down white supremacy as the tradition. Understand? And if y'all don't get that, then you'll never understand anything what's going on in America. You'll still sit up here with this kumbaya attitude, acting like you're not going to prepare your child with the foundation of America is. White supremacy. It's in the foundation of this country. It's in every institution in this country. You do your child a major disservice by not teaching them about racism and white supremacy. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this particular story here. I hate to, this happened, but, that was a slap on the wrist. Because if there had been a young brother that got all them felony accounts, he'd went to jail.
Living in America as a black person, you recognize there is one set of laws for you and one set of laws for those, especially in the white community. In our book, Passive Aggressive Racism in the System of White Supremacy, I take you through times in my life when I first started noticing white supremacy. We teach you how to recognize it, identify it, and also counter it in our book. This book is a beginner's course for those that are just starting to wake up and open their eyes to see the system of white supremacy. As a black American person, you must understand this system because this system is life or death to you. How you handle it, how you deal with it, it can affect your mental health if you don't understand this system. Pick up our book, Passive Aggressive Racism in the System of White Supremacy, today on Amazon.